Hello everyone, welcome to the session of the CodersTrust, and I'm here Tariq Mahmood for conducting today's session. I hope you are doing great in your end. Well, today's topic is about something like the MySQL, the database system, and we'll also introduce using the Phpmyadmin, how to use the Phpmyadmin to do some operation in the MySQL database. And also I will introduce some basic queries that actually normally done in database operation. So I hope you will enjoy the session, and who are new in the MySQL, so we'll get a basic idea on the MySQL, actually how it works and for what actually we will use the MySQL. Well, before starting the main session, I just want to ensure that you are watching my screen properly and also listening my voice without any problem. So if you have any problem to listen or to see my screen, you can just comment here in the comment section. If you are logged in with your Gmail account, you can just comment here. So I hope you will comment if you have any problem. And there is a settings, you should do it properly. So I am just showing this one. And you can see there is a settings icon here. Just click on it and choose the quality option. And in the quality option, there are five options. You can select the first three. That means the 720, 480, or 360, but not 240 or 144, because those two are actually for the low resolution, and in that case actually you will not see my screen properly. So please just make it 360 at least, and above is better, but for above like 720 actually needs higher internet speed. So in that case actually it might not feasible for you, so at least try to make it 360. And I hope you will do it properly. Okay, and before going to my main session, I just want to ensure you have no problem and no comment about that. Okay, and if you have any problem, you can just comment here. I will check regularly your comment. So, what is actually MySQL? Well, MySQL is a most popular open source database management system, which is actually developed and distributed and supported by the Oracle Corporation. You may heard about the Oracle Corporation. There's Oracle is a big database system also. And the SQL is the most popular language for adding, accessing, and managing content in a database, and it is already has flexibility and reliability also, and mostly used nowadays the SQL. Though NoSQL is getting popular day by day, but still SQL is the consistent one that is used in the main databases. And what is Phpmyadmin? Phpmyadmin is actually a free software tool which is written in PHP to handle this MySQL operation just using some web interface. Because if we want to make some operation, we need some interface like writing query and changing this data. That means we can do actually many things visually rather than writing the comment here, comment tool. If you check like the Oracle, there is you have to write many comment here, like the query, and you can see the result in the command prompt. So for visual operation, let's checking the data and writing some queries. Actually, PHP is mostly popular, and today I will show you how to use the Phpmyadmin to change the database and creating tables, creating database and updating rows, everything here, and also the operation of the SQL query also. Okay, for making a PHP working, you have to download the Xampp download. Xampp is actually a system where Apache server integrated and MySQL also. So Apache, PHP, MySQL all are binded here. You can download here just going to the link. The first link download Xampp. Uh, and there's another option which is the WAMP also. So you can just download this WAMP also. But I'll use the Xampp for storage session. But you can also use the WAMP server. So those are actually for the same purpose. So one of on them will be perfect to work with. Okay, so I'm using the Xampp. So after you have to start the server Apache and also the MySQL. So those are now running. So now you can actually use the Phpmyadmin. So I'm going to the local host Phpmyadmin. So this is the URL. It is not connected properly. Okay, I think it's taking time to connect here. Okay, let me check here. There is some. Okay, I think there is some problem with this connecting to the server. Yeah, now it's perfect. So it is connected now perfectly, and you can see there are a lot of database already here that actually I used for my project. Now I'll show you how to create a new database and create the tables. So first one, I want to create a new database. So just clicking on the database, you can see here. And for example, I will use a database like for uh, SQL management system like SQL DB. This is my database name, and you can just make it like UTF. Well, I'm selecting this option. I will explain to you how I'm selecting this one. Well, I'm using this one, UTF Unicode CI. Actually, this is the most preferred option because if you want to make some other languages data stored in your database, other language rather than the normal English, so you can actually use this one, UTF Unicode CI. Well, and now I'm creating this database. Well, so this database has been created, and now you can see the database here in this one is the school underscore DB. So this is our database. Now you can see no tables found in the database. That means there is no table still here because we haven't created any table here. Now I will create a table, for example, students table, the table name, and there are column. That means how many column there should be. Like for example, we have just three things like student name, ID, and the email address, so we can make it like 3. So this is the number of column, and click on the scope. Okay, so the first one is id. This is the id, and this you can see there are some option type. That means this id actually will contain an integer value, that means the number, so we can select it a number. And also we can make it like auto increment, that means AI. That means if we want to make the database will increase the value by 1 every time insert a new rows or new data. So the MySQL actually increase the value by 1 automatically. So if we want to this feature, so you can just make it auto increment option selected. Or if you want to make it like the manually insert, so you can just uncheck here. So for now, I just want to make it automatically. So you can see here. And for the second one, I can like this name. This is the student name. And the third one can be like email. For the name, actually should be the worker. That means uh, they will contain a set of characters. So we can make it worker, and the length should be like 120 is fine, because 120 character is perfect for the name. And for email, we can make it like 1 256, because it's can be a longer email. So in that case, actually 256 would be better. And the final thing, that for ID, we can also make it primary. Primary means, that means that this is the unique key of this table. Sorry. So this is the unique key. That means this value is actually unique for the table, and we can trace the data by this ID. Okay, so because the name can be same or email can be same for any reason, but the ID cannot be same. So it is the primary key here. Well, I have selected all these things. Now I will save this table. Okay, so now you can see there is a table, and under the student database, uh, school DB, there is a students table. Okay, let me check if you have any questions or problem. Well, for Hamidur Rahman, yes, you can see those video actually recorded in the same URL. When I will complete the session, you can see the whole session recorded in the same URL. So actually it will be recorded here. So you can see the whole session again, replay it. So no worry. And for Alba, yeah, okay, fine. Screen is not clear. I have already selected 720. I'm not sure actually what's the problem with your end. It should be shown to you, because 720 is the HD quality, you can see. I think if you have any other settings, or you can just refresh the URL if you have any problem still. Okay, I think it's okay for you now. And okay, I hope the others are okay with my settings. Okay, so you can see here already. So I have created the students table. So in our database, school underscore DB, this is actually our database, and there is a table for students. We can have actually many tables in a database. For this session, I'm just creating the one, the students, and the students table. You can see there is no rows. That means no result is still here. The 0 rows, because we haven't inserted any data still. We can see the structure here. So you can see ID, name, email. So ID is actually integer, that is the number, and all this name and email are the character. So worker. Okay, now there is a SQL command. That means we can write actually SQL here, right? Inserting the data. Also, we can insert data from here, like the visually here, and we have the option for export. If you want to export the table, we can actually export it. There are many options here. Also, we can input if we want to input some other data from other database. So we can also input here also. And there are some privileges like the users, and there is some other operations like renaming the table and changing the storage engine, those one. So there is many options. So just to does the main thing this inserting new data. So there are two ways we can insert the data, writing the manual SQL query, or also this using the visual one. For the first time, I just showing the visual one. For example, just like data and like something text at yahoo.com. Name and ID, and I have said already this the ID will be automatically assigned by the MySQL, so I don't need to put any value here. Just go. Yes, one row inserted. Now I can see this data here. Okay, now you can see data is inserted. The ID is 1. It is by default set by the MySQL, and the name John Doe and the email here. Now I will make it this data manually using the SQL query. Well, now I will introduce the query. The first one is select. Okay, the select is used for actually showing some data from a table, and I will is like that. This is the select keyword, then star from table name. So star means actually selecting all the rows, and if you want to just make just as a column, that means it is the all columns, but and the second one is not the all columns. It just showing something that column one two. The column means actually here you can see. So this is the one column one, the ID. This is another column, and email is another column. So actually we can if we make it this star, select a star, that means actually it will fetch all the three column. And if we want to just fetch this name or email, then we can write the column name. For example, select name and from the table name. Okay, now I'll make some query here. So let's see. There you can see the select star from students already. So you can see select star from students, and if I go, so you can see I can see the data here. That means there is only one data I can see here. And if I want to make just name, you can see here. So now it is the name. Sorry. So you can see just the name is fetched, not the other two. That means the ID and email is not actually fetched here. And also I can make like email, name, name. So you can see the name and email fetched, but not the ID. So actually we can bring all this by using the star or just specific one, like mentioning the name of the column, the name, email, or ID, or everything. So just one. So we can actually manage it here using this MySQL query. Now I will do some conditional query. This you can see here. For this, actually, I will have to insert another thing. So, like, split here, and there is another like yes, add something from here. Well, I want to insert it. So there are now two data. Now I want to just bring this one, that means the first one. So this is the conditional select, you can see. For example, select star or select column 1 2 from the table name where the ID is 1. That means I just want to fetch this row in the John Doe, which ID is 1. So how will I write this? So select star from a student here ID equal 1 equal to. You can just data of the John Doe is received, not the other, and I can also make edit here. Okay, I'm just writing a new one. ID equal to. So for this one, so this is the value of the John Smith here. Also, I can make like the using the email. For example, I just want to fetch the data whose email is this test and something.com. So I can write here like where email equal this one is something.com. So you can see this same data actually fetched, but I have used another column email. So when the value of email is matched to this one, and this data has come here. Also, we can make using the name also. That means where the name is John Smith, or where the ID is 2, or where the email is this one. So actually, we can trace the data in many ways using this conditional statement. So this about the select statement, select for actually selecting the data from the table, and you can use the conditional thing. And there is another thing is which is called the order by. That means if you want to order this data by any column, for example, I'm just write order by name. That means it should be ordered by the alphabetically name, and it should be SC. That means first will come here. So you can see John Doe. That means this the actually D is first and the S is the second. If we make it opposite here, so like ASC means the ascending order, and if we want to make to the reverse like the DSC, that means the descending order, you can make it like that. So now you can see the John Smith comes first, then the John Doe, because it's ordered by this descending order. So the John Smith. Okay, for understanding this, I can use like edge something. Okay, and now I change here. So DSC. You can see for DSC, that means the is the now descending order by name. So you can see John Doe is the first because the J is actually the first due to the descending order, and A is the last. And if you make it ASC, so it will just make it the opposite here. Ascending order. So A come first, then the J. So this actually ordered by this name column. Also, you can make it like the email. So you can just make the order by email, or else you can make it the order by ID also. So there are a lot of things actually can do order by any column, or it can be ascending, or it can be descending order, or you can select a specific column like the name or email or everything using this draw. So this about the select statement. Now I'll go for the insert. We have already inserted using the Phpmyadmin insert, but this actually we have done it visually, but now I want to make it using the query. So let's do it. Insert into table name. Our table name is students, and there are three column name. This structure is simply here. You can see for this insert, you can see this insert into table name, the column 1, 2, 3. So you have ID, name, email. The values we can actually make three values here. Okay, ID, name, email, and for the values, there are three values like for ID actually it is auto increment. We can make it null. That means actually it will be taken by this MySQL, so you don't need to mention it, the ID. And for the name, we can make name like that. So click this name here, and finally there should be an email like info at my.com here, and this and but you can see here for the string, that means the character, we have used this single quote. So you have to, when we are using this character type like the name or email, which is not actually a number, we have to use this single quote here. Okay, so this code is now completed. Now I'll run it here. So just go this. So the data is inserted in this set. Okay, so you can see here. So it is already assigned by 3, and this is this name I have inserted in the data, also the email. So I just make it using this query SQL, the insert query. So you can see just simply here writing this insert into the table name, the column 1, 2, 3. That means we have ID, name, email, and the values, we have 3 values, and we have inserted properly. Well, now I'll do some update also for updating a table. For example, we want to update the name or email of this this number 3. That means the new data, just I want to make it info@yahoo.com. So how can I do it? Well, let's do it here. Update. Our table name is students. So it should be the lowercase students and set. And which data actually will have to update the one, the email. So email should be like email equal info at yahoo.com. Yeah, well, I will set a condition because you want to just change the data for the ID 3, that means the latest one. So ID equal 3. It's simple. We are updating the tables students. Set which data, this just one, this email, and the value should be this one, and where the ID is 3. That means only for the last ID. And now I am running it. Well, it is now updated. You can see one reflected. Now let's see the data. Yes, now it is changed to info@yahoo.com. Previous it was like info@ya.com. So you can actually update this data using MySQL query. So this simply using this statement, the update, the table name, set, and the column name. That means the column actually we want to change it, and the value. We can actually do a multiple column change also using the comma. I have just used the one column, but you can change the many columns together here using the comma. So this is the column name and the value. And then finally, I just make a condition where ID is 1 or ID 2 or 3. Or you can actually use like email equal to something, or you have even the name also. Name is something that. Okay, let me check if you have any questions. I have actually done many things already here. Okay, you have repeated the comment. Okay, I hope you are watching everything properly. So we have done 3 things already here. The first one, the select. Select means selecting the rows or retrieving the rows or the data from the table. The second one is insert. That means inserting the new rows or creating a new rows in the database. That means when actually, for example, in the real world application, we register or sign up in a account in a website. Actually, a new data is created for us, For example, we have input our name, email, address, everything. So for this data, actually a new insert query is run, and the data is just inserted as a new row. You can see here like that one. And the second one is the update. Sorry, the third one, this update actually changing the data. For example, when actually we change our profile like that, after login we want to change our name or email, so we update our profile in our profile, in the, like the, you can see the Facebook or any other account. So for this purpose, so update query actually used for this purpose, though we cannot see actually the update query. Actually it is done in the backend side using the PHP or any other language. So it is taken care by this PHP. And just this update query has run here. You can see this the update table name, set the column name. That means how many actually column we want to edit, or just one column, or we can change the multiple column together here. In this id is actually that means which user actually we want to update data. So we are just making the condition here. And the finally as the delete, that means we want to delete something from our table. So for example, we have now three rows here, 1 2 3. Now I just want to delete the first one, that means the John Doe. So I'll write the query here. So delete from table name is students, where, that means we'll make a condition where id equal 1. That means just we want to delete the rows where id is 1. That means the John Doe here, the first id, and now run it. Didn't really want to execute because we are deleting something, so it is actually showing us the alert. Okay, well, one row is deleted now, so let's check. Yes, now the John Doe is deleted from the our student table. Now just there are 2 rows here. So this is the delete is the simply using this statement. So there are actually 4 operations in any database. The selecting, that means retrieving any data, or view any data. The second one is inserting or creating new data. And the third one is updating or editing any data. And the last one is actually deleting any data from our table. And you have already seen actually I have created table from the database here using the MySQL. You can create a new database here. So you can actually create many tables from any database. There is the one database and there is this one table here. And also you can check its table data and the structure. If you want to change or add new field or column. For example, we have a new feature that we want to make the phone number also. So we can actually create new field or column. For example, we want to add the phone number. So add one column. So you can see that at the end. So just go here. So it can be like phone, and it should be like cricket. You can just make it 120. It is enough for you. Okay, so new structure can we can see. Now you can see there are 4 column: ID, name, email, and the phone that we have just created recently. So we can actually change also this, like using this one, like we can change the name here using this one. So we can change the name from the student name, not the name only, and save it. You can see the ID now is student name turns into the student name. So actually we can change everything here using the Phpmyadmin. I hope it will help you to make faster to create your database, manage the system, and more run your query. And the most importantly, actually, the understand the query statement, because when actually you make a application using any PHP or other language, you have to understand it when you have to delete or when you have to update, or how to actually you have to make the condition here. Okay, so this about today's session. If you have any questions or regarding today's session, you can ask here. I will finish our session very soon, within a few minutes. So I'll wait for your comment here if you have any questions. And meanwhile, I just want to show you something about the CodersTrust. What basically CodersTrust doing here. CodersTrust basically a Denmark-based IT company which is working for web skill development. That means the web development is skill, and the main operation is started from the Bangladesh, and now it has branch in India, Malaysia, Bhutan, Kenya. So it is actually now doing operation in many countries already. And the main vision of this Coder is actually not only providing the training, also make uh, the learner actually who will complete the course properly will get uh, chance to work in marketplaces. That means curators actually will prepare the students for the marketplaces, and that means their skill will be updated to this level of the standard, international standard, that he can compete with the other developers to win any project from the marketplaces. And you can see already there are some success stories already who have started earning in the marketplaces after completing the courses in the Coder Trust, and they are still getting support from the support team of the Coder Trust. So when a student will complete the main courses, and he will get the support for the other things like writing a proposal, getting new clients. So actually, he will get the support from the Coder Trust. So Curatus is different in that case with other IT institute, that they are actually not only providing the training, also providing the other support, so that a student can be actually an independent contractor in the marketplaces and get project and can handle the clients also. I hope you will check the all the other things like the payment issues and the class time or schedule, everything in the support here. You can support from the Cooler Trust support team. Also, you can send email, or you can send message to the Facebook official page of the Cooler Trust also. And if you have the passion to work in this web development area and post your reskill, I think Curitas will be perfect choice actually to proceed your career. Okay, and for the last time, I'm just checking your comment here. Well, Alba has a question that is it must for web developers to learn SQL? Well, actually, there is nothing must or mandatory, because if you are just a front-end developer, you don't need to learn SQL. You can just learn HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, jQuery. That would be fine for your front-end development, because you don't need to do anything like dynamic data, saving data in the database or something that. But if you want to be a full stack developer, that means you want to make a web application, and not only a static website, just you want to make a web application like a school portal or something, like any application like school management system or employee management system in the office. So you can actually have to learn SQL is mandatory in that case. So actually it depends on what actually you want to be. If you want to be a front-end developer, SQL is not needed. But if you want to be a full stack developer or backend developer wholly, that means you want to work with uh, PHP, MySQL, or some other languages, backend languages. That means you want to make a dynamic web application. So in that case, actually SQL is mandatory to learn. At least you have to know the basic things like basic update and delete the for operation. Though there are some other complex query, but it actually doesn't need in mostly cases. In the complex web application, you might need to write some complex queries. But actually, day by day, actually, your skill will be updated. So in that case, actually, you will learn how to write a complex query. But for now, studying for basic SQL query like the select, update, delete would be enough for you to work with the web application. Okay, and I think the others are okay. If you have any other questions, you can ask here. Well, Hamidur Rahman asks that how much cost our curators take from the web developer and how cost and when cost time are set up and how cost. Okay, you have actually many questions, I think. Mostly are the cost and cost related. Well, they're basically a deposit model, a system, and the CodersTrust. That means you can actually work with some deposit model. There are actually barriers for various countries. So if you are from any countries like I expect you are from Bangladesh. So in that case, actually, it like be 16,000 BDT for front-end development for the deposit model. That means actually it is deposited. You have to deposit those amount, and you can start learning. And there will be 3 years agreement. That means uh, for the 3 years, actually, you will get support from the Coder Trust, and you have to give the commission 10% of your income when you will start income in the marketplaces to the Coder Trust, and also you get back your deposit. That means the 16,000 BDT. You will get back within this duration of the 3 years time frame. So actually, you will just pay this. Uh, to the co-letters from your income, not the from the earlier. But the deposit is for the security because co-letters actually will invest your time for the courses, the 4 month courses for the web development, front end development, and also the other support till the 3 years for actually when you start working the marketplace like placing bid or something else. So you'll get the whole support from the coders. So for this agreement, you have to actually visit this one. For more information, you can just visit the website and get the support from here. I hope you will know more about that. Well, if you have any other questions, you can ask here. Well, for Alba, I will try make it GitHub. Actually, it is not included in our this session because this the you know that this is the free session of the Coder Trust, and we're trying to make some random things here. But yes, in future, this topic should be included. I think it will be included, and you'll get it from here. And for Hamidur Rahman, I think you got my answer. For more details, actually, you have to contact with that also, and I can give you a number for helpline. So I think you can see the number if you are from Bangladesh. This is the office of the main office in the Dhaka. You can just call here in the office hours 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The I am just telling the number 01787659323, and also you can use this number. So just you can reach using this number, and you can get more details if you have any confusion or questions or regarding the payment issues or other issues. You can just discuss with the support team here. Okay, and I hope you got your answer. And Alba, thank you for your comment also. And I hope you'll join the session regularly, and I try to actually make different things in the different sessions. So it's actually randomly, but you'll learn something, learn just a new thing. Okay, and whoever joined later, for their concern, I'm just repeating this one, that the whole session is recorded. When I complete the session, you can see the complete session in the same URL. Just you refresh that URL, and you can see the whole session again from the beginning. So if you have missed any portion of the session, don't worry. You can just replay the whole session again, because this session will be recorded here. Well, Abidur Rahman, I have already said that Correctors actually will help you to make good right proposal, writing a professional proposal and place beat. Also, Correctors will help to get the clients also. So actually, the effort actually you will give, and the Correctors will help you, and it is obvious that you are dedicated. So it is important, if you are dedicated, Coritas actually will help you, and you have not to be worried for the getting project, because already many students who are actually serious and dedicated uh, got their job in the marketplace and is still working with the new projects. Okay, and okay, so this our today's session. I am just finishing the session for today, and I hope you have enjoyed the session and also attend the session regularly. Okay, so take care. Good night. Bye.